history on one machine, and then I have today's stuff by itself on another machine. So I can see how today's stuff fits into what happened before, but I can also make sure I'm just fishing today's stuff because it's on my other screen.
You are a junkie.
I am a waypoint junkie. I'm going to tell you what, guys. I'm going to flat out tell you. Okay? I spend over 300 hours a year on Detroit River in April and May. And I'm going to tell you something. I'm staying on this block of tiles right here. There are days you fish this block of tiles, you'll catch fish. You fish this block, you will not. I'm telling you, it's that big of a deal. That big of a deal. Without a GPS, you can't see that. And don't just save a waypoint every time you get, oh, I got 10 fish here, we're kind of somewhere around here, save a waypoint. What good does that do you? Save a waypoint every single time you catch a fish. Write that fishing data associated with that waypoint. Now you've got some information. You can go back to it, back to it, back to it. You're faced those same conditions again next year. You know exactly what you did, where you went. You pull up those waypoints. You go there, you're good. Fishing information, guys, is key, is it not? Knowing what you did before and what worked. Okay? Write it down. Save a lot more waypoints.
One thing is a lot of stuff doesn't change.
It never changes if the conditions are the same.
A lot of times for me on a charter, if I haven't fished maybe as much as I wanted to or what, I will go back to my calendar a year ago and say, okay, and I've got data to, what did I do? Gives me an idea where to start or where to think about.
And here's my argument. Okay? Everybody goes, well, yeah, Mark's a charter captain, Lance's a charter captain. These guys fish 150 days a year, and they got to do that. You know what my argument is? My argument's this. The less you fish, the more important that is. Because if you only have 8 hours twice a month to go fishing, you better maximize those 8 hours. Mark and I can fish. Yeah, we had a bad day Monday. Well, guess what? We're going Tuesday. Well, we had a bad day Tuesday. Well, we're going Wednesday. Yeah, we killed them 2 Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Doesn't matter. If you get 1 Saturday or 2 Saturdays a month to go, you better know exactly what you need to do under those conditions. Because by the time you figure it out, it's time to go home mow the lawn. Whoops, you just wasted a day of fishing. Data and information is more important the less time you can spend on a body of water. Data becomes more important. Okay? All right, any other questions real quick? I'll stick around until they kick us out.
With the HDS system I just purchased, do you use any different chips that you recommend?
Actually, the answer to the chip question is this. I actually run all three. I run what comes in. I run the Insight map in my machine, and I also run the Navionics and the Lake Master depending on what I'm doing. I run my Navionics for my running because I can see the buoys. The buoys are all numbered. They're all colored. Shallow water is dark blue. I can see that real quick. Lake Master doesn't give me that. But Navionics doesn't give me 1-foot contours that Lake Master does. So I use my Lake Master map for fishing. I use my Navionics for running. So the answer to that is yes. Which chip do I use? Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. I use them all because everyone's different.
So what I'm taking out of this is a main point is crank the sensitivity up, don't be afraid.
Crank your sensitivity up, get noise, mark a waypoint every time you catch a fish, keep good records, don't put lures in the water until you know where the fish are and how deep they need to be.
If all else fails, call Lance and invite a musky fishing.
Call else fails, call me and we'll go musky fishing. We'll get your unit set up properly. As long as it's a good unit. Great question. I run my HDS color line at about 65 to 70%. This is where I crank it up to.
You change your ping speed from drifting to
Nope. I run my ping speed 90 to 100% all the time. I don't change it at all.
Do you ever use the line of separation from the bottom that tells you that what's on the bottom is actually separated?
Kind of the flat thing with the little separation. I don't run that. What I run is I run my structure scan overlay, which actually gives me a white line at the bottom, so I can see anything above that is actually something off the bottom. But that's, yeah, you can do, there's a couple features depending on what unit you have and where you're at that will do one or two things. Either flatten the bottom out, so even though your boat's going up and down, you still get a flat bottom. Or there's a bottom separation mode that lets you kind of see fish, kind of pulls fish off the bottom. I don't run a lot of that. I don't run a lot of automatic stuff because I think I can interpret what's going on better than the computer can, just from practice. Excellent question. If you're running an HDS unit, go into the Sonar options and set it up for shallow water. Now do that first, because that'll set your ping speed for shallow water. It'll set everything for shallow water. Then you want to go back in and change your ping speed. Tune it from there. Correct. The other thing you have to do with your HDS unit, guys, is when you go into the menu, go to the settings, go to your Sonar menu on the settings, and on the bottom of that menu it says installation. Click on that and make sure you choose the transducer type you're using. That's not set at the factory. You have to physically tell it what transducer you're using, because that can make a huge difference in how your unit works. So hit the menu button, go to the bottom where it says settings, hit enter, go to the chart option, hit enter, go to where it says installation and set it up for the exact transducer that you're using on your boat. That'll really help.
Hey Lance, you got DVDs on your seminars?
I have DVDs on all of our weekly seminars. We're going to redo the Sonar seminar in a couple weeks. We're going to actually do it because things have changed since the last time we filmed it. We filmed it 3 years ago. The HDS stuff has come in. The structure scan has come in. Keep an eye on our website, walleye101.com. We'll have all this stuff on a DVD. We'll have the HDS stuff on DVD. We'll actually have it on the water, actually using it, showing you this stuff. And then we also do training classes, 4-hour training classes. Actually sit in a classroom with a unit in front of you and actually teach you how to go through your HDS, where everything's at, how to do it, that type of stuff. So keep an eye on the website, walleye101.com. We'll have all that stuff coming as summer turns into fall. Okay? Guys, thank you so much for having me down. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, buddy.
That was Dylan.